Dodge, Yahoo, Phantom of the Forest, you Spear, Finger, Fire Dragon, Ohio Grassman, Silver Giant, Bloodless Howler, West Virginia Vampire, Coyote King, Hogzilla, Devil, Dark Coyote Killer. Cave creature, Mothman, Smoke Wolf, Lizard Demon, Ashman, Grafton Monster, Cow-killing Bastard, Shadow Creature, Dustman, Cherokee, Death Cat, Wild Man, Great Fire Rape. What else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snarly Gastro Team, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven Mocker, Midnight Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically Huckleberry Wolfman or Wolf County need to find the X again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
Well, this here's Big Feets, the only Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast. And I remember when we first started, people saying, there's no way you guys are going to get to the end of this. Well, we are, I think, about 4 episodes as of this recording. We're 4 episodes away from the end of Mountain Monsters, and I'm starting to think they're right.
Yeah, we might not make it.
I might tap out. I'm. Hold on. There's a name card here. This might mean something. It's got a little dust on it. I'm gonna wipe that dust off. I'm gonna give it the old hillbilly wipe. Oh, holy shit. Oh my god, you guys, you're not going to believe this. It says Robert Brockway.
And mine says, Sean Baby, Bangladesh is a country of vegetables and fruits. There are many different kinds of vegetables used by Bangladeshi women for the enlargement of the breasts. More secrets and myths. Touching a man's penis on one's breast will help enhance the breasts. Applying cow dung on breasts is believed by some to help to increase the size of the breasts.
And I am New York Times bestselling author Jason Pargin.
Okay, if you're watching at home, Jason is reading from The Secret Man by Frank Dukes, a recurring bit he likes to do.
Since we have a podcast now on our main podcast, we're doing the Secret Man book. So I've pretty much read all of the great quotes on that other podcast. So I switched books for the ladies to Breast Enhancement Secrets and Myths from Around the World.
And was the thing that you held up related?
Oh, no. I only have it on Kindle, so I didn't have the book cover, so I just held up a hunk calendar for the ladies.
Okay. All right. All right, fair enough.
You reach a certain point in your life where none of your bits can really be explained because they're all 4 or 5 layers deep.
Yep.
And that's just the way it is.
I try so hard not to do that, but I don't know. I don't know how to stop it.
And by the way, it's so embarrassing for us having now done the Frank Dukes podcast that you guys do with the rotating group of guests where you're going through the whole book line by line. In context, none of that stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
right.
so unfair. You were pulling individual sentences out that made Frank Dukes just look like a jerk. But when you read it from the start,
you know why those feet are there and why they have to be in his mouth for the good of the country. Like you finally understand the full context. I'm like, that's why the toes.
Yes. He was trained to be a sex magician as a young child by the NSA.
As a child.
By the federal government with tax dollar money.
Subclassing in foot stuff, espionage, class sex, subclass foot stuff.
It was the only way to beat communism.
Right.
I mean, we did. I mean, we fucking did it. It works.
Can you argue with the results?
That was so he could go undercover in the United States Marine Corps. Like, he went into boot camp with sex training. I didn't write the book. He wrote the book.
Well, it's time to do our plugs. That's going to be my plug. Listen to our other podcast. You'll find it under the Dog Zone, as you always have been able to. But we're doing a series just on that book, on that wonderful book that Sean has done all of his opening bits from, The Secret Man by Frank Dukes. We're doing an entire series where we read through almost every page. Sean keeps trying to skip a page here and there, and we keep saying, stop it. And then he'll read from that page, and it will be the craziest fucking thing you ever heard. And you're like, see?
Yeah, you're always right.
It's going to last like 8 months, at least. We'll be lucky to get out of it at 8 months. That's my plug. How about you, Jason?
The new book is now not too far away. It's coming out November 3rd. By the time you hear this, if you've got a backlog to your podcast, it may already be out. It is book 5 in the John Dies at the End series. The title is There Are No Giant Crabs in This Novel. A novel of giant crabs. And if you are a super fan and you want a signed hardcover, this is true. This is not a bit that I'm doing. I know that sometimes it's hard to tell when I'm doing a bit. If you want a signed hardcover, there's a local bookstore in Nashville where I go in and sign thousands of them. You can pre-order them at bit.ly/signmycrab, all lowercase. Case matters in bit.ly URLs. You can order it from anywhere. It's just like buying a book off Amazon. They will ship it to you. I will have signed it with my own 2 hands. It's not one of those things where the author signs like a sticker and they put the sticker in there. I'm going to the store. They have multiple rooms full of these. I have to have video of myself doing it. Now, some of you are saying, but Jason, you're spending an entire day signing these. Surely in the middle of that, you must get up and take like a bathroom break or whatever. So is it possible that the book you mail me, you would have touched your penis 45 seconds before signing my book? Yes, you could. There'll be like 3 or 4 of them in there that will be true of. Now, will that make you want it more? That's none of my business. But I will say they are the same. They're standard retail price. They're not. If
it makes you want it less,
more for my signature.
I don't want to meet you.
You're not a fan.
You should really put like a little star on each one of those. That way the people will know when they.
New York Times bestselling author Jason Pargin. Will I have to have read the other John Dies at the End books to enjoy this book?
No. And in fact, all of my books can be read if you find it like in a bathroom somewhere or on a beach. Honestly, if like the first half has been destroyed by a dog or something, it's still pretty much
still okay. Nice.
It's fine. If somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, here's this really cool book. It's called There Are No Giant Crabs, this novel. It's really funny. I read it. The only thing is you've got to read 4 other books first to get it." I would physically attack that person.
Yeah, exactly.
How much time do you think I have? So no, I intentionally write them so that you can if you just find this thing in a toilet or in the garbage somewhere, in a pile, in like a book burning ceremony, you just find it in the heap and you get it off there, like in that scene in The Last Crusade. Like, I'm going to try to read this before the Nazis burn it. That's going to be fine. You don't have to go rooting through the pile for the other books in the series. Just read that one.
Even if the corner
for having it.
Like, even if the corner is burnt off, like, you actually don't need all of every page, I've found.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah,
come on.
2/3 of every page, good enough? Good enough?
That's
Sean,
more effort than I put into writing it. You think I cared about what was going on in that particular... It's like, come
on. I pay attention to every quadrant of the page, sir.
I do 2 things. I ask questions that infuriate New York Times bestselling author Jason Pargin, and I work at a website called 1-900-HOTDOG.com, and the Patreon for that website pays for this. Do we pay for this? It supports this. Patreon.com/1900hotdog. We have like all the best people who write funny articles, like the ones that's still doing it, like all 8 of us. That's where we are. If you liked us on cracks.com or wherever.
Now you cannot prove that you ever wrote anything for Cracked.
I think that's legally actionable now.
Yep.
You could just say you wrote for anything. You know what? I wrote a bunch of stuff at College Humor.
Yeah.
Go check. Oh, I'm sorry, that URL doesn't exist anymore.
I used to write for the New York Times. You can't check.
It's
paywall. You're
Nobody's
not paying
for that.
Nobody pays for that. You don't know. Yes, we do. Just to clarify, we do pay thousands of dollars a year to do this, and we are not monetized. So that's negative money. We lose thousands of dollars a year for the privilege of doing what we're about to do. I want everybody to keep that in mind.
For this?
Yep.
We're getting paid negative for this fucking episode?
Quite a bit.
Jesus.
We personally, each of us, if you go through the payroll, each of us lose several $100s a month doing this.
That feels right. That feels right for this. Everyone who watched this episode lost a little something.
Yep, and we lost, I think, about $300. $300 each is what this cost us to watch this episode.
It doesn't feel like enough. Triple X.
When I put it like that, it does feel like it hurt more than that. We're watching Mountain Monsters, an episode called Trapper's Birthday.
Here, dead guy, we gave you the worst episode of television ever made.
Just
Happy
from the
birthday.
title, like, okay, you know what the episode's going to be, right? Like, they're calling it Trapper's Birthday because their friend recently passed. It's going to be a memorial episode, or at least part of it. But, like, I found myself really wishing, like, this had happened when Trapper was alive and it was just a special birthday episode where, like, I don't know. It's different if this was about a Bigfoot, like, ruining his surprise party. And, like, I'd watch that episode.
This is sadder than Kirk Cameron's birthday. Have you seen that picture of Kirk Cameron's birthday that goes around the internet every now and then? Where they have like he's like coming into an empty office meeting room and there's like one Subway sandwich on the table.
This is a worse. You're right. This is a worse birthday than that. We captured a worse
after
birthday.
the episode, look it up. It'll bring you so much joy.
So previously on the show called Mountain Monsters, they were hunting the Grafton Monster, which is, in their words, their implications, a special needs Bigfoot. They're going to kill him. They're going to kill special needs Bigfoot. But first, they found some teenagers in the woods looking for their lost dog. And Buck told Huckleberry, "Hold my gun. I know how to deal with kids." And then he ran in there and punched them all in the face.
And we cut to black on that. That was the cliffhanger of the last episode. Now, just to clarify, when that occurred, the team was not in the woods hunting for the Grafton Monster. They were hunting for a hill called Goldschmidt Hill, named after a teenager who 50 years ago
70,
briefly saw the Grafton Monster and then drove away on his dirt bike, and they named an entire hill after him as if he was a war hero. They were hunting for that hill and then came across 3 teenagers looking for their
lost dog.
Yeah, well, they don't know it's a dog yet. I mean, everyone knew, but like the show was playing it coy.
I think they said at the end of the episode.
Yeah. They've told us explicitly, but like while they're screaming, it was pretty clear to the viewer, oh, they're yelling for their dog. But Buck and Huckleberry are like, they're looking for their human friend. We've got to go help them find their human being friend,
well,
not a dog.
Name was Randy, which is one of those names where you're like, I don't know about that.
Could go either way. Well, Randy
okay.
Quaid is a little bit of both, but most Randys are human. You're right.
Yeah, if you went into the woods and called Randy, you would either be met with the dog or Randy Quaid, and you would have like, yeah, all right, I'll take him home.
Either way, you need treats or they will attack.
I guess it sounds like I'm over-explaining the scenario. I was worried that the listeners were confused as to why this resulted in a fight. Because it wasn't like they went onto somebody's land and these kids came out to like chase them off the land or vice versa, or they were hunting the same Bigfoot. No, they were trying to find a hill in a guy's yard where he told them exactly where it was. And then they ran across these kids who were unrelated to any of this.
Right.
And then Buck went up to ask them what they were doing, and this descended into fisticuffs within like 40 seconds. It didn't take long.
Very fast.
And very clearly, even by the show's logic, very clearly Buck's fault.
They were right to attack him. He was a fucking asshole. They're like, we're looking for a dog. He's like, oh yeah, maybe I could help. I'm like, dude, what?
They say, no, thank you, please leave.
Thank you. No,
please
son,
leave, strange.
You get that light out of my face, sir. And you're like, okay, well, I guess we have to fuck you up, lunatic in the woods.
Because they're not on Buck's land.
No.
They're on some other guy's land. They all have equal permission to be there. I guess what I'm trying to explain is there's no rhyme or reason as to why this became a fight other than they needed a moment to cut to black on, because that's now the format of the show. It's like, this is what's going to keep them hooked. We need to have Buck just, you know what? They probably saw Reacher. And they're like, this is the Reacher formula. It's him coming up against a bunch of tiny people who confront him. They unnecessarily escalate, and then Reacher has to like throw them all through a plate glass window one by one.
Horizontal
Round
Reacher.
we both gave him we both qualified him with a shape.
That's the Reacher reboot we need. We're being a little bit unfair because they did cut to black in the middle of this fight, but they didn't cut to black on Buck just beating the holy shit out of these three teenagers. They cut to black on a really good horror beat, which is that one of the kids looks up, and out of the darkness, something that looks like Huckleberry is charging him. And like it does turn out to be Huckleberry, but like something that looks like Huckleberry is literally the scariest thing to come charging out of the dark woods.
He rose up out of the mud with his AR-15. The 7-foot-tall, filthy hillbilly came shambling out of the woods at them
and immediately attacked that child. Like the third child that was not involved with it, he just ran in and tackled that kid. The kid that was not involved.
Yeah, did not run in there saying, hey, everybody calm down. No, he went in swinging. It's like, I am getting me some of this.
Yeah, some of this child is the end of that sentence. They do, so we cut into the middle of that fight. They win the fight almost instantly, the AIM team, Buck and Huckleberry. And to be fair, I do think the tactic would work because the tactic is Buck just lays down across two of them. He just puts two of them down and then lays across them fully, and they give up. And that's it. And then Huckleberry, with his giant, horrible body, lays his entire giant, horrible body across a child to the point where you can't see the child anymore. Like, they do an above shot, and the child is just fully absorbed into his body. That's how you end a fight. Like, will to fight is over after that.
If you gave this tape to a DA, like, they could bring some charges, some real sexual charges to these men.
If they needed any help, Huckleberry's going to give them that in the next scene. Huckleberry does a testimonial to camera where he says, and I quote, "Knees everywhere, people's feet in your face, toes in your mouth. I ain't seen that many body parts all over the place since I was at an orgy in the 70s. I know that's everyone's quote of the episode. I'm sorry to steal it.
I didn't even... But I stopped paying attention.
The very first words spoken in this episode, and everybody has to take a drink for Huckleberry referencing his life as a cock warlock.
Yeah. Not
He's
only
been
that,
chasing that thrill of that early Bigfoot sexual encounter his whole life.
He does reference I've fucked so much. I shouldn't have fucked that much. A man should only fuck so many times in his life. That I bypassed that number a long time ago.
It was a lot of like below the knee stuff he was referencing, though. He was like, we had everything: feet, toes, shins, ankles, the whole gamut of the human body.
He specifically said the words
calves
when referring to this fight with children: toes in your mouth. And like, if you get into a fight and you find that there are toes in your mouth, it's because you made a priority to put them there. Like, you used the distraction of the fight to put toes in your mouth. And if you did that to a bunch of children in the woods wearing hiking boots and still somehow got toes in your mouth, like, you're like a sexual apex predator. Like, that's amazing. That's genuine skill.
I own over 300 karate books. None of them have a move where you put someone's foot in your mouth.
And there's even a bit here where, like, once they're all calmed down, Buck says to them, like, look, guys, I'm not going to call the cops. It's like, I don't think the kids are the ones who would be in trouble.
It's a good strategy, though.
Like, look, we were out here with our machine guns hunting a Bigfoot, and these punks came along. It's like,
looking for their land.
Like, oh, no.
And what did they do to enrage you, sir? Well, they were calling for their lost dog. And that's when you put their feet in your mouth.
I think it never stops being weird because after the fight gets resolved and they all kind of like have that weird like post-fight energy, Buck's still trying to find their dog. Like, he's kind of doing that that thing where a cop like kind of knows he's in the wrong, but he's like, yeah, you can't be out here in these woods. There's a lot of danger out here. You can't just be like, I guess I'm referring to a specific time I got caught fucking in a car in high school, and the cop like knew that he was a weird creep for interrupting, and so he's like, a lot of people die from drugs out here. I'm like, no, they don't. It's just got two children fucking, and this is weird.
I've been watching you guys for half an hour. I'm telling you right now that I can't be doing that out here.
That had a lot of that energy where Buck's like, okay, now that I've laid on you for a few minutes.
Now I've laid it fully across the children. Now that Huckleberry has absorbed the soul of that boy fully into himself. Also, Buck just from doing this Steven Seagal chair karate at these children is fully out of breath, like he might die, like it's a medical emergency, and nobody else, even Huckleberry, nobody else is. Everybody's recovered. And Buck's just like, it's a weird energy to have him just like breathlessly panting. Where's your dog? Where's your dog, children? You're like,
He also doesn't want to say the word Bigfoot. He's like, there's something dangerous in these woods, and it's killing dogs.
Yes.
I feel like these children were right to attack him, and this is being verified again and again. That like you're in a lot of danger, and you're still in a lot of danger. You need to get the guns you were using to summon your dog, because that's how they were calling their dog, was shooting their rifles into this guy.
They did explain that the last episode they said that 3 shots in the woods means help, and they did train their dog to run towards gunfire, which seems like a really funny practical joke to play on a dog you don't like. That's how you get rid of a dog.
It's a weird use of a gun. I feel like if you have a gun, this is the time to use it, when Buck and Huckleberry attack you from the woods, not to call a dog.
Yes. I do forgive them for panicking at the sight of Huckleberry loping out of the darkness. That's one of those, like, why didn't you run? I don't know. It's a horror movie. You're too scared. You're not thinking logically. So they shake hands with the children, tell them good fight, which is something you shouldn't tell children. They just fought. And Buck asks if they were looking for Goldschmidt Hill, the hill that they're looking for. And one of the kids says, no, looking for the land of the fallen trees. Which is just a perfectly natural thing for a teenager to call a place.
Yep. And Buck is like, what? There's even a music sting. This is...
What? So they meet up with Willie and Jeff to tell them they had successfully attacked the children. And Jeff says, land of the fallen trees. Huh. Wonder what that means. None of them can solve that little puzzle. It seems pretty self-explanatory. For example, if I was walking through like a Skyrim-esque video game and somebody was like, you have to look for the land of the fallen trees. When I came to the section where all the trees had fallen, I'd be like, this must be it. That never occurs. That never really occurs to them.
But what matters is that the previous episode, they set out to find this hill. They got interrupted by these children. So now that that's taken care of, time to get the hell out of there. They did the one thing they needed to do, which was to fight these children. Mission accomplished. Back to the hotel. Another day of shooting in the can.
You ever think it occurs to them on the drive out, like, we did what we came here to do, and somebody else is like, did we come out to fight the children? Oh, shit. No, we were looking for a hill. Oh, we weren't done at all.
What if they did and they had 3 child actors there and they beat up the wrong children? That might have been what happened.
We got to get the fuck out of here. That's one thing they did is they abused some children. So they meet up the next day and they're going to celebrate Trapper's birthday. And Jeff squeals, "Bring out the dancing girls!" in a way that is going to haunt me for quite some time. I don't like the thing Jeff is becoming as this show gets its final season.
He's like a little stinker.
Yeah, he's becoming weirder and weirder.
But there's a lot of talk about Trapper, the drunken sex machine here, because they're going to keep riffing on this for a long time. It's like, well, we can't celebrate everything Trapper liked to do, else we'd have to turn these cameras off.
Yeah, what does that mean? Because you can show strippers on camera.
Yeah, absolutely. They do it all the time. Like, no, that can't be filmed. There's no amount of blurring that could capture what Trapper liked to do. It's like children are watching
Yeah,
this.
this is in memoriam.
Yeah, it's a weird funeral.
So it's a wake. Don't imply he does sex crimes at his wake. That's weird. So Buck brings out Trapper's hat, only it's not the iconic hat. That's of course in a museum somewhere.
Yeah, the Smithsonian.
This is a new hat that Trapper bought that we never saw him wear. But hold on, there's a really good story. There's a good reason why Buck brought this hat out instead of the famous hat. And that's Trapper's old hat got a hole in it. I'm not telling it well. It kills. It kills there.
It might be the worst a hat story could ever be.
I'm pretty sure that was the story.
Yeah.
It got a hole in it.
Yeah, and then he couldn't break this. He didn't have time to break his hat in. So that's an important detail, is that this hat's inadequate. It's not quite a full hat yet.
I'm not sure why he brought it out. He also brings out a picture of Trapper, and Trapper's. It's a good picture. He's got a jar of moonshine. He looks real happy. And Buck says it's from that time on the show when he pulled his tooth out on camera, and
No flashback.
that's some good retcon because suddenly that scene, that whole episode makes a lot of sense that he was just drunk as shit and like.
Hey, go back and watch that episode because I did. This is because he mentions, he was like, oh yeah, that day Trapper pulled his tooth out. He was drunk as hell off this moonshine. So that was their Werewolf of Wolf County episode. That was the episode where Trapper at one point improvises that they found the giant wolf's howling rock. And then Trapper screams into the woods, "Howl at me, you son of a bitch! Howl!" Like, yeah.
Drunk as shit.
Yeah.
It's a good retcon.
I get it now.
So yeah, a few more Trapper pictures. They reminisce a little bit, and Huckleberry says he and Trapper together came up with a recipe for his famous moonshine, which he calls Sasquatch piss. They sell
This got
shirts of
Jeff's
that.
attention.
Yeah. That's what he calls his moonshine. He brings out a jar of it, and he tells us a cute little story. A story that I like quite a bit about how he used it to jumpstart his lawnmower, and that it cartoonishly got away from him and destroyed his entire lawn. Like, no, it didn't, but it's cute. And I wish
it's cute.
I wish it was more of these stories from Huckleberry and less putting children's feet in its mouth.
I agree.
Like, as an alternative between the two, I prefer this one.
Did you catch that there was an official Trapper mug here? That they poured one out for him into an official Trapper mug.
Yeah, it says his name on it with like
Said Trapper, and there's little tiger claws behind it.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet.
and yet I don't think they sell that anywhere. I think Trapper went on Redbubble and was like, I'm going to make a me mug.
It looks kind of like when you see like the X-Men in a comic book, and a lot of them have their own comic lines. So it's like Wolverine's got a cool Wolverine logo, and maybe Rogue had her own comic for a bit. And then it gets to like Colossus, and they're like, oh, we don't have a logo for Colossus. So someone just like does impact font and adds a little. That's what it looked like. It looks like someone like threw it together in Photoshop, but in an awesome way.
So they drink to Trapper, and they comically wait for Wild Bill to go first. He of course hates it and can't handle it, and then Buck goes next. He hates it and can't handle it. He starts miming licking Jeff's shirt. Like he takes a sip, and then it's like, oh, this is so bad, I have to lick Jeff's shirt.
Yeah,
Instead,
they don't have a physical language to express how much they hate this.
Not sure what that means. He says it tastes like a mixture of polyurethane and moose testicles.
Sure.
All right. The point of the scene is just they all drink it, they all can't take it, and they hate it. And Trapper would be ashamed of them for that.
Yeah.
And that's how they celebrate his birthday.
I gotta admit, this depressed me.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
Because obviously the bit as they planned was, let's bring out Trapper's iconic hat. And on the day or the day before, at some point, his daughter, whoever is like, I can't find that old hat anywhere. It's he threw it out. I don't know. We burned it. I don't know. And so they just had to buy a similar hat and like retcon,
really?
like, well, he was about to wear this one. He did get the chance because he got sick. Because they like wanted to tell the story of like, this was a hat on many adventures, and you see all the holes in it, and all the wear, all the time spent in the woods, all the times Bigfoot knocked it off his head. That was the bit they had planned, and instead they had handled it like this brand new, like clearly just out of the box the Amazon box hat. Like, yeah, it was a hat kind of like this that he wore. Wasn't this one.
And he died.
It's same style. He died. Anyway, let's drink this liquor that he taught us to make. Oh my God, it's the worst thing I've ever tasted.
Yeah, we all hate it.
And the whole thing ends with a drone shot of them like toasting the sky or whatever, like drunk and like screaming, and they've got the drone watching them from overhead. That shot is going to become very, very funny in the next episode. Okay, that's a reason to stay tuned.
You're right.
So the next day, they're still looking for Goldschmidt Hill. As a reminder, Goldschmidt Hill is just a hill on some farmer's property. And in fact, the very story that made Goldschmidt Hill famous is that a teenager used to just ride the edge of the property just to check the fence line every single day. And he'd come to Goldschmidt Hill every single day. Just a teenager out on a dirt bike casually patrolling. And since that time, there is now a big sign at the base of it proclaiming it Goldschmidt Hill. And furthermore, all of the teens in the county know where this is and can access it easily because it's become a rite of passage to infuriate Bigfoot at the base of Goldschmidt Hill. That's what they're looking for. They're still doing that. They're going to spend 2 entire episodes looking for Goldschmidt Hill, the thing all teenagers can find. And they are currently hiking up a small creek on a beautiful sunny day. There's just, I want to paint the picture because the creek is like kind of a set piece going forward. It's about an inch deep. I wouldn't even really call it a creek. I think it's more of a drainage ditch. It's got a relatively steep, like 5-foot sides on either side of it, and then nothing but like beautiful, abundant meadows, clear, flat meadows as far as the eye can see on either side. And a huckleberry says, "This won't be a good spot to defend, boys." I love the idea of just walking through like a picnic area at a campground, being like, "This won't be a good spot to defend, boys. If we got ambushed here at the grill, it's over for us." They have
a trench and hundreds of yards of visibility in every direction. I don't know what he's looking for.
There were literally wars where we just did this.
Yeah, broad daylight, no adverse weather conditions. There's several of you. You're all armed.
Yeah. This is trench warfare against Bigfoot, and Bigfoot doesn't have a trench. So
now, is it problematic that you keep referring to the grass man or to the Jesus Christ? What's the animal that's actually here?
Grafton monster?
The Grafton monster is a Bigfoot, because that's going to become confusing later, because Buck's going to have to rewind. I know that there's so much lore that it's hard to recap it, and we can't recap it as we go because not even they know what it is. But an early episode of this season was called Bigfoot or Bust. And they came out looking for Bigfoot. The opening line of this season was, and I quote, "Bigfoot, Bigfoot, 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 Bigfoot." Then at some point, Buck had a revelation when he did audio CSI and said, "This is not a Bigfoot. This is the Grafton monster." That is hugely important. They have no similarity to each other whatsoever. Because the Bigfoot stacks rocks to mark his territory, the Grafton monster stacks rocks and then puts like a skull on top of it. A Bigfoot will lean sticks together and like a teepee shape. The Grafton monster will lean sticks against a tree in a teepee shape. They're nothing the same. The Grafton monster is not a type of Bigfoot. Nothing about anything they say in these episodes makes any sense if a Grafton monster is just another type of Bigfoot, even though I really do feel like in that original episode, they were just calling it a type of Bigfoot.
Yes.
But that distinction is very important to Buck, and because it's so important to Buck, shouldn't it be important to us as well?
I'm glad you brought this up. I did think about this a little bit in my notes, and I think the decision that the Ames team made was that as you said, he makes the rock piles, but they're not quite right, and he makes the teepee with the sticks, but he can't like balance it, so he has to use a tree, and that's why they've sort of implied that this is like a special needs Bigfoot.
Yeah,
and they've now decided that disqualifies him from his species, so he's not a Bigfoot anymore. Now, that's what they've decided. And what I've decided is that I think special needs people are still people. So I think special needs Bigfoot
Interesting.
is still a Bigfoot. That's where I landed on that. And maybe I know that's
I
pretty
actually
woke.
don't use the term Grafton anymore because I find it offensive. I prefer trainable monster.
Yeah. Now it is still a monster. That word is still correct. We all agree that it's a monster.
Yes, he's a horror.
He's always
You bring any scientist out here to classify what is this entity, like, oh, that's a monster.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
up. Like, to be clear, yeah,
He
that's
needs
a
a little
horror.
help.
God's light does not shine upon it. Let's be clear about that.
needs a little help, but he's still a monster. So Willie spots a little mudslide along the bank, and in honor of Trapper, I assume he goes to do some like forest improv on it. He's like, "What? There's a little slide right here," and somehow in the process of this forest improv, he winds up in a full Van Damme style split across the
pretty
bank,
sweet.
just doing like crotch out.
He even
split,
calls it
and then,
the hillbilly stretch or something.
The hillbilly
Everything's
stretch.
a hillbilly something in this episode.
And Wild Bill spots an opportunity, and he leans down to poke at Willie's crotch with the barrel of his shotgun, and saying,
Got it.
Bigfoot put his old nads right there.
So Willie and Wild Bill have agreed that Bigfoot stopped to do Jean-Claude Van Damme splits at the top of this ditch.
Yes.
They've recreated the crime scene. This is where he stopped to do the splits.
That's where... that's what
He
they did
gave
in
him,
honor of
I guess you
Trapper.
call it a gun job, just a real brief little gun job. I don't know.
I love that, like, that's what they think Trapper did. Or just Trapper's force
Yep.
ghost in the sky above them being like, that's what you think of me? That's what you think I was doing?
Happy birthday, Trapper.
Bigfoot did the Van Damme splits here and put his balls in the mud? Like, that's not what I did.
It doesn't inform anything about the hunt. It doesn't tell them something new about, like Trapper would have, like, this is how we know how much it weighs, because look at how deep these ruts are. That's,
Right.
Yeah, that's 800 pounds right there. You can tell by how deep that slide is.
But they
then
try
he
to they do a tiny bit of Trapper stuff where they're like, look, he steps this way. He left a couple of footprints, and then I guess they're just vanished. I guess he levitates the rest of the way. It could be that this proves that the Grafton monster is a Christian. I don't know.
Got raptured.
Lack of footprints is a very God thing. Oh yeah, it could have been a rapture.
Yeah,
could have
when,
been a
when
Jesus
the rapture
carrying him.
comes. The pure among us. And who is more pure than Bigfoot?
Oh, speaking of which, it starts pouring down rain at this moment, right?
Yes,
Is
it
that when
does.
this happens? And an actual rainbow forms. This wasn't an effect, right? Like an actual
know. I don't think
rainbow
so.
forms. And they're like, that's Trapper. That's Trapper doing that. And I just love how in the show, Trapper's one message from the afterlife was gay rights.
Exactly.
It was important.
That's the
to
true
him.
message of the show. That's the theme that we've been missing. We're making all these jokes, but these are just a bunch of gay fellas who love each other.
That's
what
the
should
rainbow,
be.
our symbol. the
That's why they
rainbow,
laid
as
on those
always.
boys. They're trying to share their message of love with those teen boys.
Let's move on. Let's move on from this.
Well, that'll
Jeff,
cut like that. None of that'll make.
No, we're
the
not going to
final.
leave that in. Don't be ridiculous.
Obviously,
so
I wouldn't
Jeff,
have said any of that if I thought Jamie was going to leave it in.
Jeff gets stuck in the mud, and he starts making just being a little weirdo again. He starts being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm getting all filthy." Like I don't
So
like what you've
fucked up.
become. And there's no. They
Sex
decide
pig.
there's no other solution to this other than to have Huckleberry come up behind him, fully palm from the rear, reach around from the rear, and fully palm Jeff's entire crotch area with his hand, lift his entire body by his crotch. And
That's the
haul
message
him out
Trapper
of it.
sent them. Are you not listening? They were just told
right.
by Trapper this is the way to live.
This is the way that to be honest with themselves. And Huckleberry's like, I've been one. In honor of Trapper, Jeff, I've been wanting to palm that crotch like a basketball. I'm just going to do it.
You muddy little stinker.
Buck says there are some things Jeff struggles with and then starts listing everything. They throw back to a clip that I don't remember of Jeff getting stuck crotch first on a gate. Like, just he's over a gate, his crotch is stuck in the middle of the gate, he can't go either way of it. And then the only thing he says in that clip is, "That's a lot of ass!" And I feel like I'd remember that one.
No, I think they filmed these cut-ins
filmed it.
same as with the previous episode. They're doing these planned comedy bits. I think they did a bunch of Jeff being incompetent and goofing, because to be clear, he's not actually stuck in the mud. His boots are not sunk in the mud at all. This is purely a planned bit they did, which, by the way, comes right on the back of the shotgun crutch bit they just did. It's back-to-back comedy bits.
Yes. So Buck also says of Jeff as he gets out of the mud, he doesn't give up. That man's got the heart of a lion, but the body of a whale.
I don't want to have to add this to the drinking game of a Buck who is, again, he's lost, what do you say, lost 165 pounds. He does not have Frank Dukes' swimmer's physique.
Yeah, he is now only, I want to say, 20 pounds heavier than Jeff. So it's weird to...
It's weird. This is a repeated thing. He's doing this over and over. He did it with like a witness in the last episode, I think.
Yep.
Like how heavy the witnesses was. Like one of the most dispiriting things that happens when you grow up is when you realize how many bullied people really just wanted the chance. They're mad they didn't get to bully someone else. Like that's the thing they were mostly upset about. They weren't on the other end of it.
He's been dying to make fat jokes, and he just started 200 pounds too early.
Yeah, he's making fat jokes as still technically the biggest guy on the team. Not by much anymore, but like...
Sure.
Height compared to weight, like BMI, there's no contest. And you would just think he of everyone would know like how uncool that is. No, I didn't like being on the other end of this, but one thing that certain events have taught us is that the people that nerds, when they have a chance to like go after other people, are more vicious than the people who are bullying the nerds. And it's like, oh, so anyway,
it's true.
Don't get me started on Gamergate.
That's what that was about.
Throwback Gamergate. Nostalgic for Gamergate. More innocent time.
Oh, those were the days.
It literally was.
Yes, I know. We said you weren't getting started. So they stumble across our old friend. That's right, impossibly ancient, sun-weathered cowbones.
God, I can't believe
They
cowbones were here.
painted them or something, right? Did
They've
they
got
do
a little,
like a mossy paint job
Yeah,
or
they've
something?
got like a little moss on them now.
Yeah,
They sprinkle a little moss on there.
They're probably going
on
out
the crew
after this. They're a little dolled up.
No, but somebody on the crew was like, guys, those bones are so clearly like from a gift shop. We've got to make them look, because this time they're supposed to have found them on the ground, and they kind of act like they're recent.
Yeah, they act like this is a fresh kill, these moss overgrown bare bones.
I like how Huckleberry's doing forensics on it. Like he's like, look, that uterus bone is unshattered. That means the cow hasn't given birth yet. Like, okay.
This hits different now that I've seen you lay across an entire child and talk about it. Hits different how you know about like which bones in a cow's pelvis will break with enough trauma. Like I don't like that you know that now. Buck likes that. Buck just looks at him and sincerely goes, "Wow, I did not know that. That's pretty cool."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this cow was a virgin.
He's doing the cow hymen testing on weathered moss-grown bones.
And they decide that the bones have like a bite taken out of the bones.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's like
scratch.
human. This is what it looks like when a human bites into a bone.
Little teeth marks. So they're
I think
doing all this.
I wish they would have done more forensics, but Buck looks up and sees a bunch of logs, and he decides, dear God, he just remembered something from earlier, something one of those kids said. What was that?
But he says, could this be the land of the fallen trees? It wasn't a mystery that was given to you. It was the name of a place. It was a descriptive name of a place. It's not like, could we have found the legendary land of the fallen trees? Yes, this is the place where fallen trees are. They even he asks Huckleberry if he remembers what that kid said, and then they flash back to that kid saying, land of the fallen trees. And they're like, oh my God, this could be what he meant.
Even if you watch it, there's a wonderful little moment here because they have Buck saying, hey guys, look at all these fallen trees over here. Uses that exact phrasing. Then they cut to the back of his head and they ADR in the line, is this the land of the fallen trees? Implying that on the day he screwed it up and called it something else because he forgot.
Best.
Is this Flat Treeville? Ah,
They're
God
trying
damn
so
it.
hard to make us. They're trying so hard to make us think this is spooky, but like it's not. It's nothing. And I made a note at this point. Like I should count how many times they say it in the episode because I think they've said it 8 or 9 times already. I gave up, but it's over 20.
It might be in this scene alone over 20. They just keep saying "Land of the Fallen Trees" to each other. And
It's
then
tornado aftermath is what it is. There's been a really, really bad storm, probably a tornado, because they're broken off. They're not.
Yeah.
It's not logging work. They've all been. It's a blowdown at the top of a hill from where a tornado came through, which is fine. It's just that the locals in West Virginia would not give that the Elden Ring realm name, Land of the Fallen Trees. They don't call stuff that. Like that's Buck's video game mind calling it the same as like calling it the Dark Forest rather than whoever's woods that would be.
You don't remember being a kid and you'd be like being a teenager and you're like, oh, you're going to get drunk with your friends in the woods and you're like, meet me at the Valley of the Ashen Stone.
Yeah, that's
fellow
that's how we
child
talked.
with an E at the end, child. Oh, Land of the Fallen Trees. No, you'd call this like Dipshit Hill or something because one of your friends like fell down it.
Yeah,
Like that's how you would know things. So they solved the mystery of why it's called that. And they decide, no, we actually still have to find Goldschmidt Hill. We can't get distracted by every side quest we see. We've got to go find it. And they go 2 steps, literally 2 steps up the creek, and go, could this be Goldschmidt Hill? It's the same place, except hold on. They decide no, because they said there'd be a sign here, and so they start looking around. They go, oh my god, there's some holes in this tree, holes that maybe could have been used to hold a sign at some point. What's this? What's this in the ground? A piece of wood, perhaps as though a sign might be made out of. They clear away the debris. My god, this could be a sign. Exact quote, Huckleberry, we don't know what this is, but we sure as hell gotta dig it up. Buck, it's got writing on it. Jeff, sure does. Buck, I think it's a sign. They're really building up the tension of the big reveal of whether or not this is a sign. And so, like, to the degree where you're thinking, oh, well, they wouldn't be doing this if this was just the sign for Goldschmidt Hill, right? It's going to say, like, warning, keep out, or
dead inside.
Yeah. So they call Willie down. This is an emergency. They need Willie's help. Willie, you got to get down here. And Willie runs in and goes, what is that, a sign?
He fucks it all up.
So
There's a moment you're leaving out. Part of the drama was Buck was faking that it was hard to pull this sign out, but it's just a sign on the ground.
Oh, let me be clear to the listeners. Brockway is greatly compressing the scene. There's a whole thing where they do CSI on the holes, the sign holes in the tree, and Buck's like, well, now that top one's not that's actually a gunshot.
And he even knows the caliber. He's like,
that's a slug from a shotgun's up there. It's like, but that bottom hole's where they hung a sign. It's like, are you that scared that you didn't film enough TV show today? Like that you're like.
You can tell from the bottom hole the tree did not die a virgin.
You fought the children and put their feet in your mouths. You can nurse that for a good half hour. You didn't have to put the sign stuff in here.
Do more foot stuff, pervert.
Show Huckleberry eating that foot like Saturn eating his son. Just
all of the steps where he had to accidentally take the boot off and then the sock. Like, oh no,
the fight is so dramatic. Oh.
What a battle!
So Jeff says, "Let's wash it off. Give it the old hillbilly bath." Not everything is hillbilly. Like the loose concept of rinsing a thing off. I'm not going to give it to him.
When Jeff got stuck in the mud, they called it hillbilly quicksand.
I know.
When Willie did the splits, they called it a hillbilly stretch.
You can have that too. You can't have the act of rinsing a thing off be the hillbilly bat.
And when Huckleberry put that kid's feet in his mouth, that's hillbilly first base.
Oh my god, that's only first base.
Yeah, it's
The implications
dark.
are real dark.
This is a dark bit. Jamie cut all of it.
I'm going to hire a PI to find out that all of these guys are from like Bakersfield
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
somewhere. Like they never set foot in this part of the country until they turned on the cameras.
I would say they're probably still not allowed, because imagine actually being from West Virginia and be like, I'm going to kick these guys' fucking asses if I ever see them around here. Like, that's what they think of me?
It's like the day that I found out, I think in my teen years, at the old Andy Griffith show, you know what I'm talking about, that none of those actors had ever been to North Carolina, and that they're all doing a different Southern accent. It was all filmed on the back lot at Paramount or whatever. None of them had even glimpsed the part of the country they were supposed to be in. I was like,
Everything's a lie.
Everything's a lie.
Sir
How old
Mix-a-Lot
are you? You
was
look
not
really
even
good.
knighted by the Queen. Just some fucking guy.
No, when I was a little kid, when I was a little tiny kid, they used to show that on WGN all the time.
Yeah,
I
all right.
watch it. It's like, I wish America was like that still, because I was like 11. It's like, no, I wish we could go back to the 1950s when everything was fine. And then, I don't know, I was like 13.
Man,
I read somewhere, it's like, nah, this is all fake. All of that stuff is fake.
you
They're a
look
bunch of-
really, really good for your age. Like, I hope I look half as good at your age. I
You
gotta
didn't
get
watch
your yoga.
any reruns when you were a child. You only watched new stuff. You didn't watch I Dream of Jeannie. You never watched Nickelodeon. None of that stuff. None of the old timey.
No, not
Gilligan's
really.
Island.
Yeah, I did watch Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's
There you
Island was
go.
on all the time.
Great.
You
Brady
didn't.
Bunch.
You didn't sit there on Saturday morning and watch the most racist ass old Bugs Bunny cartoons from World War II. And they're all like trying to raise war bonds, but the episodes just made it into rotation. So you're sitting there the whole time, it's like, yeah, the Japanese
go into your
are
mom.
monsters. Daffy, thank you. Rotation. So you're sitting there the whole time. Should invest in war bonds because you're like 7 years old. You don't have any context for any of
For
this.
those of you just who don't watch these, you're missing that Jason is just aging like he's chosen the wrong grail, just disintegrating as he's talking, blowing away into dust.
And we're getting off the subject. What was going on? Have they
They're
read
still
the
doing the
yet?
sign.
Oh, that
They're
sign.
still doing the
The
sign.
glorious
I'm
the
glad.
legend of Ron Goldschmidt.
I'm glad we got off track, because that extends this whole sign bit out to roughly 1/3 of the time that it is in the
Right.
episode.
But let's skip to the end. They did find the forgotten sign about the 70-year-old story of the child who saw a monster.
All right,
But
hold
the
on. If we're going to
sign
skip
is-
to the end, you've got to let me scroll down past more and more of my notes. Let me find it.
Because
Yeah, that's
the
most of my
sign-
notes.
The punchline of this is that the sign is wrong. When they had their production crew or whoever made the sign says, again, the premise for people who did not memorize the previous episode. Their witness, what was the witness's name? Was it Gary?
Brad, I think.
Brad. Brad said, this is my fence, drive down, follow my fence to this hill. He's like, a bunch of teenagers gather here. It's called Goldschmidt Hill. I put up a sign to keep them away. I put up signs to warn them. You'll see the sign. That's when you know you found it. So they go and decide, okay, next thing is we got to discover the sign. And they wash it off. And the sign says, The Legend of Ron Goldschmidt. It does not say, keep out, or The Legend of Ron Goldschmidt, subtitle, explaining
saw
that he
Bigfoot.
died. No, that's it. That's all it says. What would that sign communicate to you? They put the wrong words on the sign. The prop guys with their router, whoever just went and made this, because it's just some boards where they've just taken router and just carved it. They misunderstood what the sign was supposed to say, because this makes no sense.
And
It's
Buck
fucking stupid.
concludes, after he sees this, Buck says, "This might mean we found Goldschmidt Hill."
It could.
Not willing to commit. Like, I don't think he's acting like he's inventing the concept of the sign in his mind, but further, he's acting like he almost got there and was like, "No, I don't have it. I don't know what signs mean. Whoops."
But anyway, finally, after across multiple episodes, the whole mission, including why they fought the children, starting the day before. You find Goldschmidt Hill. That's where the Grafton Monster can sometimes be found. So now
we're
they
here.
finally
Let's
are here.
get it going.
Finally, we can start time to get the hell out
Get
of
the
there.
fuck out of here, man.
Mission
You gotta-
accomplished. We found that sign. Done. That was the only thing we came to do today, was to find that sign.
We found Goldschmidt Hill. Why? That's for another day.
Yeah, he decides they need to talk to that witness again. Okay, now we found the sign. Now we need to go talk to Brad again.
But he's coy about it. There's like something he's not telling them or us. He's like, we got to talk to Brad again. This sign reveals a secret known only to me.
Yeah,
Buck."
this sign specifically, me seeing this sign changes something. That's why we have to go back. And you're like, you kind of allow that with like storytelling. It's like
Sure.
he's seen the sign, now it means something else. So now he has to go get clarification. We're gonna realize another step of the puzzle. So that must be why they're heading back. Just real quick before they do, Jeff does get filthy one more time. He falls down the mud and wallows around like a little pig. I hate it. I hate that he's doing this.
And
Yeah.
that looked like an accident to me. You think he did that on? Do you think that was a bit? Because they
I
don't
don't
play
think
it
he's
up
doing
very
bits
much.
anymore. Or if he is doing bits, I think I think in the final season, Buck, as creative director, has told him, like, Jeff, you're the fat one. You're the naughty little piss boy. You wallow in the mud. You love the filth. You love to be filthy. Every chance you get, just you hate dignity. You love to have it like taken from you and seen. Let's go. So I think every time they have
that
Jeff on
makes sense.
camera, he's getting duct taped with a little vagina cut in his crotch so he can piss out of it on camera.
God, that
Yeah,
was so pointless. They did cover that man in duct tape for no reason.
Yeah. So they could cut a little vagina in it and have him piss out of it on camera because he's the naughty little filthy piss boy.
Yeah.
And that's what he's become. Okay, so that night they meet back up with Brad, and that the farmer whose land this was. And Buck says,
and they're at that campfire set, that sound
yeah,
stage.
they're behind the fire. Weird. It's weird when they go back to that set, and you're like, how far away is that? Because that's a specific place.
It's
So
very
Brad-
strange. It's every time they get there, it feels like someone's about to get kicked off of a knockoff Survivor kind of.
Yeah, it does feel.
Yes.
That's the feel of it. It's definitely like, did they fly Brad out to the Warner Brothers lot to film this on stage?
Yeah, for the reunion
looks
special.
like it. It
The
looks
Real
like
Housewives of Hillbilly County.
when 80s sitcoms used to like do a camping episode, and it was so obviously not like, I remember watching I Love Lucy when it premiered that night when it was brand new, and they did the camping episode. It was like, man, that just looks so phony. It looks exactly like that.
Yeah. It's always distracting every time they throw back there. And Buck says, ever since he saw that sign, he can't stop thinking about something Brad said about the Bigfoot having black fur. And that might not be the Grafton Monster.
I think you have it mixed up. I think he
wait.
said the Grafton Monster had black fur.
Maybe.
No, Brockway had it right. I can see why
Okay.
you're confused, because I think the listeners are also confused. Because the previous twist was they set out to find Bigfoot, and then Buck decided, based on the evidence, what they're describing is not a Bigfoot. It's the Grafton Monster. Let's pull the audio from the previous episode. I've got proof that's the Grafton Monster. And now he's trying to, just 2 episodes later, twist it back. Like, no.
Right.
I think you, when you said it was the Grafton Monster, I think your theory was incorrect. My theory that it was Bigfoot the whole time, I think, is right, because the Grafton Monster does not have black fur. And what you said, this thing, obviously got such a good look at it in the middle of the night. You knew exactly what color its fur was. It wasn't just a dark shape. That's ludicrous. Obviously, you would know exactly the quality and length of its fur. Oh, also, by the way, Buck opens this conversation by saying, "Since we met yesterday, Brad, we have worked our asses off trying to find Goldschmidt Hill. You made it sound so easy." And I would love if Brad just be like, "Yeah, it was at the end of my fence.
Yeah.
Wasn't it in my yard?
Teenagers patrol it on dirt bikes. That's why we call it Goldschmidt Hill.
Local children gather here to try to find the Grafton Monster.
Mm-hmm.
It's well known to the. Did you not see like all of the beer cans and stuff where the local kids have been up there? Like what difficulty did you run
a little
into?
detail that we missed was we did see when they arrived at the base of Goldschmidt Hill. He's like, I think this might be Goldschmidt Hill, and the camera pans up along the fence line. There's a road. It's a road that goes all the way up the hill. Goldschmidt Hill is literally on the road.
That's why they couldn't go up.
So as
That's
long as
why
you
they
don't
had to
go
walk
on
along
foot.
Yeah.
As long as you don't stop to put some kids' feet in your mouth and then leave to go back to your hotel and then come back the next day, it's a 5-minute walk.
Yeah, that was a 2-day trip for them.
That's the small mistake they made.
Okay, I think I follow what Jason's saying. I think we were both confused. But I think I get it now. They went out looking for Bigfoot. They found not Bigfoot, Grafton Monster, but now they've also found Bigfoot. So Bigfoot, not
Yeah,
Bigfoot,
now you
Bigfoot
get it.
again.
Yes.
Okay.
Brad
Okay, I
told
think
them
we're
it
all
was a
together.
Grafton Monster.
The important
But
part
he
is
said the
that-
black fur, and now Buck
Yeah.
knows he was lying. He knows
Yeah,
that
it
he
was
was
a lie.
holding.
That's the key. Brad, this is a cover-up. That's the
Yes.
plot point here, because Brad lied and tried to tell them it was the Grafton Monster, who, make no mistake, the Grafton Monster also is here.
Sure.
But he was lying about the fact that back in 2006, 15 years ago from this filming, about what he saw that night. And as for why he would lie about that, Brockway will explain it.
Yeah, sure.
it was scary.
Yeah,
I think that's the
what
full
I have in my
reason.
notes. A little too spooky. So he's like, I'm going to tell people it was Grafton Monster, not a Bigfoot.
And Huckleberry immediately jumps in to give him like survivor's support, where he's like,
Yeah.
I feel your pain, brother. I know where you've been. Like, you didn't want to admit that was a Bigfoot because
Yeah.
it was too scary, so you lied and told them it was a Grafton monster.
He touched you,
I
didn't it? I've
understand.
been there. I've been there getting touched by Bigfoot. Like, and then 40 minutes later, they're
I
trying,
don't-
no, that's not what happened to me.
I don't understand why they keep doing this. I don't understand. They keep like using the like sexual assault framework to talk about seeing Bigfoot. Even now in the context where like it's fine and not shameful to see other monsters. Like you can see all the werewolves you want, you can see all the Grafton monsters you want, but if you see a Bigfoot, that takes your manhood away. You don't want to
That's true.
admit that to other hillbillies.
Unless you're
What
on a
the
dirt
fuck?
bike and then they name a fucking hill after you.
Yeah, what?
The exact phrasing as Buck says, so when you see it in 2006, you knew it wasn't the Grafton Monster, Brad. I knew it wasn't. Buck. Well, I understand your reluctance because it's not easy to talk about. And Brad, it's rough. Huckleberry, yes, it is very rough, but let me tell you, I've had an encounter. I know the things you went through. But I would love for you to clue us in on what else is in this country, because right now we've got our backs against the wall and we would like to know what the hell we're up against. And then Brad's like, this creature, I don't know. I've never told anybody about this. It's like, okay, so you went back to town and your cover story was, no, it was the Grafton Monster.
Yeah.
Are you sure? It looks like you're lying. It's like, no, it was the Grafton Monster. It didn't have a head. And it was
You're hiding
1,500
something.
pounds, and it just ripped the head off a cat. Like, no, it wasn't. I bet you got molested by a Bigfoot.
Because if you see a Bigfoot, it molests you 100% of the time.
It's true.
So now finally, 15 years later, these are the first people he's ever admitted, I did not see the Grafton Monster that day. I have been living a lie because everyone in the world knows a Grafton Monster is in no way a Sasquatch. It would be ludicrous to think those are the same thing.
Absolutely.
There's no way the like sexual assault framework is an accident. To nail it that dead on every single time you talk about Bigfoot now, they're like, so canon, like in their lore, if you see Bigfoot, he molests you every single time. I don't know why they're doing this. I understand
no other
why
way to
it's the
take it.
last season where like whatever some executive checked back in is like, what is this show? Are we funding this still? I mean, it's not a lot, but we're funding this, right? And like, this is just people getting molested by Bigfoot over and over again? Yeah, this has to stop.
Here's the exact phrasing he uses in case the listeners think you are playing this up unfairly, in case they think you're being unfair to the hit TV show Mountain Monsters. It's well known around here, says Brad. Most people know to stay out, but I'm telling you, Goldschmidt Hill isn't half as bad as the land of the fallen trees. When I got to the edge of the clearing where those trees are, there it stood, right there, just looking at me, like it was waiting on me. I don't know if I cried or bleeped myself or pissed down my leg, because the next thing I know, I'm running out of the woods and I don't know what happened. So he has missing time. The thing was looking at him, staring at him. It had been waiting there for him. Something happened that I've repressed in my memory. The next thing I can remember, I was running away, having soiled myself.
And furthermore, it turns out he brings out a recording and he says he's never played them for a single human soul. He was too ashamed to play his Bigfoot recordings. Not Grafton Monster. He'd see the Grafton Monster all day long. Grafton Monster?
He tells everybody about that. Yeah.
Oh, but this one, he finally gets the courage, thanks to Huckleberry's like solidarity as a fellow survivor. He gets the courage to play the Bigfoot clip. And Buck hears it and says, "That's not a Bigfoot. That's two Bigfoots." He came so close to saying our name. He almost did it.
Yeah, he almost did it.
And we would have ended the podcast if he had.
Yeah.
That would have been, we would have just ended it.
It would have been that moment where you hear the title in a movie and you're like, that's why they called it that. That had to be the end.
He fucked it up.
So Buck decides there's also the Grafted Monster out here, plus two Bigfoots, and regular wolves that aren't supposed to be there, and also smoke wolves. All of those things are out here on this fucking farmer's property.
There's that graveyard guard dog too.
And the graveyard guard dog, they decided
they've forgotten
the
about
Grim.
that.
Yeah.
The Grim is the different
Grim.
the different thing. This guy's poor farm is so fucked. Like you can't get subsidies when there are this many monsters on your property. So we cut out of that into white text on a black screen. It says, after meeting with Brad, the team decides to head out to the land of the fallen trees. So now they're on the hunt for BIGFEETS, abandoning the hunt for the wolves, which they abandoned for the smoke wolves, which they abandoned for the Grafton Monster, abandoning all of that again for Bigfoot, now that we've finally come back around. Just a stunning, heroic portrayal of the difficulties of living with ADHD. Just all these tasks left undone. They head off into the woods. They decide, okay, episode 5 of the last season of our show, we're restarting the entire thing again. Fresh hunt, fresh monster. Episode 5, like, is this a full 10? I think this is a full 10 episodes.
At the end of this episode, we will be halfway through the final season. Yeah.
5 episodes left, and they're going to restart again for the 17th time. I don't even know how many goddamn times they've restarted it, but they're restarting the show again. And they're looking out to find the land of the fallen trees. They do. A lot of different kinds of fallen tree, though, is the key. They start going over it, like saying, this would make a lot of sense if they were all the same species of tree, like every forest is. But these are a bunch of different kinds of trees. So it must have been like something was taking trees from all the different kinds of forests.
Right. Because most tornadoes and floods, they hit one species of tree.
Mm-hmm. And then
so this must be a Bigfoot. Plus, this is when Buck remembers, guys, remember that one Bigfoot that like came out of the log and then tore down the forest and made us switch hats and underpants?
I'm going to float a little bit of a theory here.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell me if I'm way off base. We have a running joke that this show was funded by some kind of government grant in West Virginia, that they tricked West Virginia into paying them to like make a wildlife show, and they made this instead. The reason for that is that at the end of every episode, there is a line in the credits that says, filmed in West Virginia with the assistance of the West Virginia Film Industry Investment Act. And I don't know what that is. I assume it's grants to encourage people to film in West Virginia.
Sure.
Is it possible that as part of that government program, they were told this season, you've got to put some kind of science in the show, and that they have decided that naming tree species in this scene, you're going to have Willie say, look, you got a piece of elm that's been snapped off. There's even a piece of ash right over there. And then Wild Bill, I'm looking down, I'm seeing all kinds of damn trees. I'm seeing white oak, I'm seeing red oak, I'm seeing walnut, cherry, maple, locust, beech.
It's downright educational. You're right.
And the
feels
camera
like-
shows each one as they go. So it's like, here is White Oak.
And this
bing.
is going to become a thing from here on out. I have watched ahead. I think they have to do this. I think they have to have a clip they can submit to some bureaucrat proving that, yes, we've got, this is educational content. Please keep giving us the check for $62.
They're only including this clip. That it is like a 2-minute clip of them just identifying trees to this bureaucrat, and that bureaucrat's going to go look up the show and be like, "Oh, this seems like a nice show," where they just kind of go through and they identify, all the different plant life and teach the kids.
I wish there was more teen foot stuff.
Yeah,
actually, sir.
Use it up. And the first thing he sees is Huckleberry going, got them child's toes in my mouth. What?
Also, a funny moment here is because occasionally there's been a couple of times when Wild Bill has kind of done a bit, kind of hanging a lampshade on what they're doing. And here he says, that looks like a damn tornado came through here. Because it obviously is what happened.
Well, then Buck specifically says, well, the wind is coming from a different direction. So it's not the wind that knocked them down.
I loved that so much.
Good, dependable wind, always coming from the same direction.
Just the one direction of wind.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes the stupid it's so incredible. Like these guys are like now playing characters who haven't been outside before. Like we kind of got they weren't real hillbillies, but now they're like, yeah, wind goes left.
Yeah, it's like a 2D platform. It's like a Mario. Like it goes from left to right. You can't go back. You can never go back when the wind's blowing at you. You
but
can only
wind
go
is
forward.
left.
So they
Case
hear
closed.
a noise. They hear a noise, and Jeff tries to catch it on thermal, only he can't. He says, I'm moving on it fast. It's like a fat boy chasing an ice cream truck. And they all break out in shrieking laughter here at that. And Huckleberry says, it looks like you might have caught it a time or two. So that's official.
They're fighting a Bigfoot. They are doing multiple fat kid bits, and they're fighting a Bigfoot.
Yeah, again, he's scanning with the thermal because they came upon what they've decided is a Bigfoot den. They think enough of the trees are piled together that it would have made for a nice or a Grafton monster den. I've completely lost track. I apologize. And he's scanning because they hear it. And he does that line. It's like, yeah, I'm on it like a fat boy chasing an ice cream truck. And then they scream laughter and the comedy music comes in.
The sting comes.
It's so weird. Like there's 1 minute left in the episode at this point, by the way.
Yeah.
So they decide, they found this den, they decide they have to crawl into it, right? And Jeff immediately jokes, well, I won't fit down there because he knows he has to be the fat guy of the team now that Buck doesn't want to be anymore. And so it has to be Willie to crawl down there into this den. Willie, because he's the trimmest and thinnest member of the team, only he can get down there and cram himself into the tiny hole of this 9-foot-tall Bigfoot den.
So he asks Jason, did you notice anything strange when he asked Wild Bill to cover him?
Well, yeah, Willie specifically, I'm going in, cover me. And then Wild Bill standing over him looks like he's going to execute him. Because on the night vision, it looks like one of those photos from some horrific war zone when they murdered all of the locals. It looks like he's about to shoot him and dump him into a mass grave. It is just him down on the ground on his hands and knees and Wild Bill above him pointing his shotgun right at the back of his skull. And
a little of this is on Willie because Willie is crawling into a hole not quite big enough for a man to fit into. And he says the words, cover me. So what else can he? There's nowhere else to point my gun except for
he just doesn't want to die
you.
trapped in a hole. He's like, if I get stuck in this, execute me before I starve to death, because that's a terrible way to die.
So he goes down to get underneath that log, and we get a good look at the Bigfoot den this time. It's a single log stacked over another log. It's just a log. I don't think it was supposed to pan over far enough to show us that there was not anything else on the other side of it. Willie's just crawling under a single log. That again is about 10 inches off of the ground, and they're like, a Bigfoot lives in that. What the fuck are they doing? But Willie gets under there, and there's a snapping sound, and they start freaking out. Willie! Oh my god, Willie! Willie, oh no! Willie! Wild Bill hurls his gun aside, leaps in to save his friend. Willie is not responding. He will not respond. Something really wrong must be happening. And all of his friends just shriek brokenly into the night in mourning of their friend.
There's nothing happening. Like, I'm not even sure what's supposed to be happening. And in response to the nothing that's happening, Willie and Wild Bill just crawling deeper into this little den, the elusive, shrieking 18-inch Bigfoot, and then I don't get why. What I'm saying is that for as long as the stars shine in the sky, this will be the smallest and most worthless episode of television man has ever created. Fuck the desiccated corpse of an imagination that spawned this entire thing. I'm just reading what it says in my notes.
Well, you don't know that, John. Like, this is a really good, because they go out on that. That's the cliffhanger, is that this time Willie went in there. He's not responding. That's the important thing. He's not.
We can see him on thermal. He's 4 feet from us.
They're shrieking. We can see 80% of Willie. He's gone from the shoulders up. Just took his head clean off and ran off with it like a football. Right. He's running for the end zone with Willie's head. We don't know. We don't know until next episode.
If we were watching the red fade from Willie's body from the shoulders down, as if he did get his head ripped off and like the heat was leaving his body, that would have been a cliffhanger. But no.
Surely what they're going to do next episode. We don't know. We don't know what happens next episode, but my God, there has to be a good reason. Willie's not responding, trapped in there.
This is the worst thing anyone's ever made.
But that is it. We made it through that episode. Time to pick our quote of the episode. I'm gonna go first because mine is very, very brief. It's at the end of the extended sign bit where they have to like treat every single point of like finding an old sign.
Hold on, is your quote 4 words long?
3 words long.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is then.
Okay. It's after, full of emotion, when they've finally like finished off, they finally revealed this sign. Jeff, a little choked up, looks down that sign and goes, "We got it." Like the journey is ended. Like like they've dropped the ring into Mount Doom. We got it, boys. We found the sign. Powerful. That's it. I love that. That's probably the hardest I laughed was Jeff just like wiping it. We got it. We found it, boys. Sean, what's yours?
Same scene. Jeff had fallen in the mud for 4th or 5th time, and as he's walking out, he just says, "My balls are wet."
We got it. We got it.
To which Willie replies, "You can't even tell from back here."
What? Hold on.
He's just a good friend.
What is that? Again, what part of that means something? What?
You don't have to leave it in the show. I've said stuff in real life that kind of sounded right in my head, and then once you say it, it's like, that was nothing. You don't have to leave it in the show. You can cut it off after. In fact, you didn't have to leave in the balls. My balls are wet line. You can cut the whole thing. Like, no, we don't have enough show. Got to leave it all in. You're lucky we didn't keep recording them all the way back to the hotel.
What? You can't even tell from back here. Is that a don't worry? Your balls appear dry from the rear?
I think it was like a good friend. If someone is like, I think I spilled soup on my pants. They're like, "Oh, you can't tell." You know what I mean? Like sort of like just letting them know you're good. No one knows. Yeah.
Your balls look dry from back here.
Yeah, your balls look dry, buddy.
Balls
don't worry.
Look dry as hell. Put them in Huckleberry's mouth.
Okay.
My quote is a reply that Jeff posted on Facebook. So, a fan asked, as with every single thing they posted, because they're now on episode 2 of their spinoff show, Monster Mondays, Ames Files, Monster Monday,
whatever the fuck they're
Expedition
doing.
Ames. They've done 2 episodes and they went 2 months between episodes, but that's fine. It's not everything's going to. And somebody, as always, asked, why can't you guys get back together as a team? whatever happened between you, why can't you just put it past you? And then Jeff replied, do you know the buck knocked me through the air about 10 to 15 feet in anger over breaking an arm off of a $20 lawn chair when I got up to do my OTF? That's the interview to camera thing. My right hand is numb, no feeling, thumb, pointer, and middle fingers. Knocked my neck 9/16 off from center, according to the doctors. The doctor said if I was not stout at that time, it would have broken my neck. I am handicapped from this. I can't tie a fishing line, breach my gun, pistol, or write well anymore. But yes, I agree. We should forgive and forget.
The Buck superhumanly Hulk slapped Jeff of the full story into the air.
15 feet? 15 feet
That's
into
He
the
would
air.
have cleared my house. He would have
Yeah.
cleared the roof of my house.
That's a free throw line dunk.
Almost. If it had he said if I had not been in like that exact position, it would have broken my neck. Like, can you imagine the alternate history where this show is famous for having ended where one of the guys chucked another one through the air and killed him, and he went to prison. Presumably this is against the law. So now I am trying to figure out what episode they were filming if this happened. It would be a weird thing to make up, although their whole deal is making up lore. But I'm trying to find the episode because it would have to be one where
soon.
presumably Jeff is missing for the last segment. I've gone back, through my notes, my Big Feets notes. I can't find what episode that would have been where either Jeff was acting weird at the end or wasn't involved at the end, or they were keeping him. Because this makes it sound like he had to go to the freaking hospital. He went to a doctor. It damaged vertebrae in his neck from Buck throwing him 15 feet through the air. So I'm wondering if it's one of these last 5 episodes, if there's going to be one where Jeff is just not there for the last segment, and it's
Or his
because
head's
this
on
happened.
sideways.
I think it probably happened at the end of last season. And I think they did it much like how they finished filming The Crow after Brandon Lee died. They just had like Jeff stand-ins, put on the racist paint, the Native American makeup on him, put the little like surgical gown on him, just really dress him up so you can't tell that oh my god, that who is that? Because Jeff really gave up any attempt at dignity. It was already going downhill for him, but this season specifically, when he came back, he's just Buck says he's the fat one. Buck says Buck's gonna wrap him up and cut him a little vagina. He fell into line. He really like he had been slapped over a small house.
Yeah.
Like Buck had turned into the Hulk and slapped him over a small house, and he barely survived. And the doctor told him his head would have rocketed off his body if he didn't do his yoga every day. He really fell into line after that, and I think we can see the lack of dignity now where that came from.
If this really happened, I don't want to say that I don't want to make fun of it, because this is extremely funny. Because the problem here's the problem. These are real people with real lives, and if he's really in chronic pain, I'm very sorry for that. But listeners, I want you to close your eyes and try to imagine I want you to imagine Buck hitting Jeff so hard that Jeff flies 15 feet through the air, and try to imagine a non-funny version of that. I want you to imagine a version of it that doesn't make you smile.
His little gnome cap just flying right.
Because I feel like if we gathered to do a Big Feets convention, and I enraged Sean Baby, and he hit me so hard that I flew 15 feet is a long way to fly. I don't think I've ever seen a man in real life fly 15 feet in a basketball game, or definitely not in an NFL game.
That's an RRR hit. Somebody that's getting hit in the universe.
If you hit a guy so hard he flies 5 yards, he's never played football again. So if Sean hit me that hard, even if it paralyzed me, I would think that was very funny. I would never stop watching that clip, because look how far I flew. I didn't know this was possible.
If I kicked a guy 15 feet, I would start laughing well before he got to 6. I'd be like, I can't. Oh, look at how far he's going.
Proudest moment of your life.
Did he get raptured in mid-kick? Is he just going to keep going? Is this the end times? Am I going to be judged for this?
Like,
Anyway,
Buck had to have written that for him. There's no way anybody else thinks Buck is so cool that he could slap somebody over a house.
I know he's exaggerating, but why? Why exaggerate? If you're telling a story about a fight that you lost, why would you exaggerate how much you lost?
I lost that so bad the doctor said my head almost came off.
Yeah, my pants flew off, and
He said if I wasn't so fat, my head would have come off. I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
The doctor's like, I don't know how to put this, but thank God you're so fat.
Because you have to be a Bigfoot teacher, you have to open up your mouth. You have to be a Bigfoot teacher. All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. You had to have the white hot spotlight. You have to be a Bigfoot.